In this video, I'm going to show you how to repair a window that won't roll down in a 2008 Chevy Equinox. I'm going to start out by opening the door of the window that doesn't work, and there's a little rubber boot in between the door and the car. I'm going to peel that back and take a look at the wires, and you can see there are at least one or two, there's two wires that are indeed broken. So I believe that's the problem. I've checked the motor. You can see I have the door panel off. That wasn't the problem. So I'm going to get some vice grip clamps to hold the boot kind of out of the way a little bit, and then I'm going to strip the ends of the wires. And as I strip the wires, I'll tin them. So I'll put a little soldering flux on and tin the ends with some solder. Just putting a little solder on each end of the wire. Then I'll get the other end of the wire and strip it back. Once I get that stripped back, I'm going to twist it a little bit. These wires are a little fray. Then I can put my soldering flux and my solder on that wire. And I've got a piece of heat shrink that I'm going to slide over the wires. And then I'll use my hemostat clamps and clamp the two wires together and heat them up. Add a little bit more solder, let it flow together to make a good connection. Make sure it's nice and smooth and good connection. Then I can remove the clamps and slide the heat shrink over top of the solder joint. Now I have another wire here. I'll do the same thing. This one I'm gonna strip both sides and try to clamp it together. I'll still use the flux on each side of the wire, but I'm going to clamp both of them together. Got to remember to put on the heat shrink. So got the heat shrink on, got the flux on the wires, so I'm going to clamp them together and solder both of them at the same time. Just feed a little bit of solder in with the soldering iron on. Make sure it gets a good connection. I can remove the clamp, slide the heat shrink over the joint, and use my heat gun to shrink up the heat shrink. Make sure I don't overheat any of the other wires, and that should protect my connection. Once I get that shrunk up, I can remove my vice grip clamps and slide the boot back into the door, and we'll give it a test, see if that was the problem. You can see that the window does work, so that fixed the problem. So if you have that issue with an Equinox, this could be your fix. If you enjoy this video, make sure to hit that bell icon and subscribe. I'm How To Bob, and as always, thanks for watching.